Oh man, I'm Brian Brushwood. This is my literal best friend in the world, Justin Robert Young, and we're Great Night. We've
Hey
never
man.
had a greater night in our lives than today, which is not a night, but it is today because great means late. Because we are a day late, but not a dollar short. We are here for you,
Nailed it.
the dear
Nailed
listener.
it.
Hi, Brian.
Man.
Where the F word are you?
Well, as you know, it is Tuesday night, and that means it has got to be go time to suddenly make it Wednesday midday. Live from Austin, Texas, by which I mean the Four Point Sheraton in Bellingham, Washington, just south of the border. One of them magicians sneaking across the border, trying to.
That's where
steal our
the National Guard
dollars.
shooter was rehomed.
Whoops. Yes, that's right, Justin. I'm live on the scene, boots on the ground reporting for Great Night. It's me, Brian Brushwood, live from
Yeah.
Bellingham, Washington.
That's a fun fact I like to call that came from news Tourette's.
where you have to be factually right.
Just facts and figures fall out by way of some kind of hook. All right, so you're up in the Pacific Northwest and you've been there for a minute, huh? Like
Yeah,
you were out right after. Well, catch everybody up. You had a hell of a when did the shock set in that made you know you had to be in the Pacific Northwest for 5 days?
That would be Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, 1 week ago, at this exact moment, just a little bit of clerical work because originally this corporate gig, am I allowed to talk out of school? I think I could talk out of school on this program.
Sure. Yeah.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is a fantastic company. They're based out of Vancouver, Washington, and they had an initiative. Oh man, you know what? They're great. I did a workshop for them. I think that's as close as I can get.
That's all that we need to know because we don't care about the workshop. We care about you getting there.
To be honest, this is me really, just like you had news Tourette's, I have excitement Tourette's over. Justin, the workshop was very good.
That's good. I'm very
really
glad to
neat.
hear that. Yeah.
Also, an awful lot of NSFW games. We began with Don't Be.
I'm doing my best to have you not
Okay.
ruin the thing that you did. So
Okay,
we're gonna
all
move. We're gonna move forward.
You're right. Okay. But the point is, we bumped it up to early December, which I wouldn't worry. I knew that you pay more for last minute travel but you get the flexibility and all that stuff. And old flexible Bonnie can't go because silly old Bonnie, her passport's expired. Silly Bonnie with her expired. It expired back in May. Not like me. I don't have one of those May expired passports.
So wait. So this began because we didn't even get this because we were dealing with World's Greatest Con logistics. This
Oh my God. By
began
the way,
with
everybody
Bonnie.
listen to World's Greatest Con.
Listen to World's Greatest Con. Sure. This all began because you were wondering whether or not Bonnie could also come with you to Canada because this event, while they might be headquartered in Vancouver, Washington, this event was in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yes, correct.
So you guys are talking, fun conversation.
They're a Canadian
Oh my
company.
God, what? Have you ever been to Vancouver? What if we did a little thing? Like maybe we could stay the weekend. And then she's like, oh, that'd be really fun. Let me look at my passport. Oh, shucks. It's expired. At what point? So like, how many minutes does it take for you to have that little like tickle in the back of your brain that's like, I wonder when's the last time I looked at my passport?
2 months. 2 months later.
So the idea of her coming to Vancouver, BC was 2 months ago. And
Yeah.
you were like, wow, what an idiot. Like, who lets their passport expire? Not old Brian. So then, all right.
Here's what's crazy funny. I don't know if I checked or not, But technically, at the time I had that thought, my passport had not yet expired because, for reasons that we still have not pieced together, hers expired in May this year. Mine expired the end of August of this year.
What were you doing 10 years ago, right? Because they're 10-year documents.
Yeah, I remember that it was
2015.
a
Barack
TV
Obama was the
thing.
president.
Ooh, he sure was. Yeah. So I remember it was somebody expedited it. It must have been a TV thing or a corporate gig. I don't remember. What was the last?
Hold on, I'm
big
getting
TV
2015 facts.
Oh no. I really better
I'm going to
get
jog your memory with a lot
You know
of
what?
2015
Actually,
facts.
I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, I'll do my little thing.
Same-sex marriages were legalized. The Iran nuclear deal was agreed to. The
Okay.
Chinese stock market crashed. Does that ring any bells?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep on going back to 2025. I'm certain that it's on my.
Well, no, 2025 now. You want to go back to
Oh, sorry.
2015.
Yeah, that's right, 2015.
Oh my God, we did the first VR videos.
Oh my God. I wonder if that had it. Let's see, August 2015, there was Nerdtacular.
We did the all new
went to.
RAV4 hybrid videos in 2015 because The Force Awakens came out.
I had a gig.
And that was the
Oh,
last
you know what?
night.
I have it. In August 27th, 2015, I did a gig in Malaysia, and in Kuala Lumpur, and yeah, that's what it was.
That was 2015? That was that late?
Yeah, well, because I remember I texted Dan Carlin around that time about how history was unfolding. Like it was making national news that there was some revolution happening outside the door. And you know what? I think, yeah. And then like 2 months later, Trump got elected president. And then we had Dan Carlin on the live stream.
Well, no, that was a year later. That was 2016.
2016 is when he took office, wasn't it?
No, he took the oath of office in 2017.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it was Kuala Lumpur. Anyway, that was the gig that I last re-upped my passport.
And that was 10 years. That was.
Yeah, that was 10 years. I could tell you some of the other. We got.
I want to. I don't know. Press X to doubt, because if it was around this time of year, The Force Awakens came out, and we watched it because we were doing. I was in Austin for a week to shoot the VR stuff.
Yes.
And I think that was after you did the Kuala Lumpur,
Yeah,
because
that's
that was the
correct.
finger cloud lady.
Yep.
That was
No. That's Indonesia. You're thinking of Indonesia trip. Kuala Lumpur
Oh.
was like a TED Talk thing, and it was very TED-like because what's his name? Virtual Magician was there.
Marco Tempest.
Marco Tempest was there. That's
Now
what we
this
got
sounds
there.
more. That sounds more right. All right, so that's why you had it 10 years ago, and then Bonnie's like, maybe we all go together, and then she's like, oopsie, 2 months to renew a passport. That's impossible. I guess we'll do
literally
it
what
next
she said.
time.
Literally what she said. I was like, look, if you want to, you know we can make this happen. It's just an expedite fee, but we got to do it now. We can't wait till last
Yeah.
minute. That's
Yeah.
not possible.
So when do you actually check your passport?
Wednesday afternoon. Okay, so Wednesday was a big deal because we had the new World's Greatest Con released that day. It was also the day that we released the video for the 110% money back guarantee magic kit. And then a little detail was I knew I needed to hop on a Skype call to make sure that I had my battle plan for the storytelling workshop, but I needed to run by it, the powers that be, and it's like, yep, I'm just gonna lock that flight in. And so when you book international travel, they like to ask you a itty bitty little question about your passport. At which point I found.
Would you like to scan in your passport before so you don't have to do it at the gate? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And that's so you waited till because they'll hit you like a week before to do like, hey, international travel, do your pre-flight check thing.
I had not even booked my flight at that moment.
Oh,
because
gotcha.
well, because I mean, again, I'm like, whatever, go to Seattle, drive across the border. How tough can it be? Again, booking the flight, I was trying to evaluate whether it was more cost effective to fly to Seattle or straight into Vancouver. And that's when I noticed that I didn't have a passport.
Gotcha. So you look at the passport and you have the moment of dawning.
Yeah. Well, and even then, I don't really sweat it because I'm like, ugh, well, let me just look 1-800, give me a passport. And they're
Brian, don't lie to the audience. You called me and you were sweating it. I felt your sweat through the phone when you gave me a call because meanwhile we had gotten all the way 99.9% of the way to World's Greatest Con. I was literally waiting on two things from Brian Brushwood, and that was to read the credits and to do an ad for scam stuff.
That's right.
And I had Wednesday, I just stopped waiting for Brian because I was like, the Patreon people have waited a year without getting anything from us. They need this before anybody else. They need this for their commute. Here, let's put it out. Let's put it out to Patreon. So I don't have a good mic. I'm at my mom's house. So Will reads the credits. To right now, you can, if you download the World's Greatest Con version from Patreon, it's Will reading the credits with no explanation whatsoever. You're like, why does Brian have a Buffalo accent? But we put that out, and then you hit me up. Or no, that was Tuesday maybe that happened.
That
and
was
then
Tuesday. Yeah.
No, it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and then Thursday.
Thursday, also known as Thanksgiving. Right?
Thanksgiving.
Okay. So Wednesday afternoon, I know I'm pushing everything late. I know I'm burning credit. Also, I've got a bit more to solve than I thought. So again, Austin, Texas, like surely there's a place. Oh wait, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, federal holiday. Let me call an expediter. Yeah, 3 to 5 days. I don't know, maybe. And I'm like, that's not going to work. So then it's like, widen the circle. San Antonio has an office. They don't do emergency passports. Widen the circle. Houston, Dallas, they have emergency passport offices. No slots available. You have to make an appointment. So then this is when like old gig instincts kick in. I'm like, there was one time I remember it becoming clear that one of my shows had canceled and that I was about to miss all of my shows if I didn't get away from the hurricane. So I remember walking up to the Southwest booth at Nashville and just say, any flight going west, move my body away from whatever this is. And so likewise, I'm like, whatever the problem is, move my body closer to the problem. So I find
that is the tried and true thing. I used to do that too, where if there was like a snowstorm coming in, and they're like, I don't know, maybe your flight, maybe it'll be tomorrow, maybe it'll be in 2 days. Literally just move in that direction. Just roll the dice again. If they don't have your answers, then you might as well not be there. Move closer to where you need to go and roll the dice there that things are going to be better for you.
Where you are standing is, let's say, 7% yes or 15% yes. You need to move your body where it's 70% yes or 75% yes for a million little factors. So I book the very first slot on Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving, and then
where
it's like in Seattle, Washington. Yeah,
Seattle, Texas. No, Seattle, Washington. Gotcha.
Correct.
But at least it's where you were going. I mean, that's fortuitous because there's another version of this where you had to go to New York and then fly from New York to, Seattle.
And it could have gone that way. There was almost a version, if Seattle didn't work out, then I would have just flown to L.A., handled L.A. stuff on Friday, and then bummed around in LA on the weekend and then headed on up. But I knew that I would at least be in the area. And so, so I booked that flight. I have an appointment to fix passport thing and a flight. And then, I start going down the checklist of everything they want to see for the emergency flight. Oh my God, I just realized I'm going to have to share this with you. The emergency flight or the emergency passport, one of the things they want, Justin, is photographs of a very particular size and shape.
Yes. Yes.
So now, keep in mind, I encountered this list now actively during Thanksgiving because, bless her heart, Bonnie was like, "You are not going to leave me to run Thanksgiving all by myself. Like, you can peace out early, but and the very latest flight leaving from Austin is at 4:30 p.m. So it's like that means I have to be out the door 2 p.m. Ended up being 2:30, but that means let's start Thanksgiving earlier or whatever. And around late Thanksgiving is when I realized that these photos that I took aren't exactly the right size. They're photos, and so then I have Josie take photos just in her room, and I have Callie resize them, and you can see that it's got the background or whatever. And then after 2 hours, like I don't know the size, so Callie, being a total sweetheart, does small, medium, and large, and I'm like, I'll just cut them to size when we get there. And then I read somewhere, you know what it was? It was the shrill, hysterical voice of ChatGPT in all caps saying, "No shadows. If there's one shadow, they'll set fire to your family. They'll do this, that, and the other." And so at this point, I'm so exhausted and spun up, and it's minutes before I have to go. And I snap this photo, or I have Josie snap a photo where the lighting is, shall we say, less flattering.
Yeah.
But
No
also,
shadows.
no shadows. I'm a little bit exhausted at this point, and I know it because Josie, who has been total sweetheart the entire time, she's been game or whatever, she snaps the photo, and by the way, here we go on the video. That's the first photo, right?
Okay.
That's the one I'm worried about because it's got a shadow. And then she snaps a second photo, and then she just kind of pauses and purses her lips and gives me a withering look. And then I know it's bad, but so this is the one that is good. And then she hands me the phone, and I look.
Oh my God. For audio listeners, this is like 2007 smoking gun, like just beleaguered photo. Yeah, these are the meme of Hank from Breaking Bad, the smiling and the frowning.
Josie proceeds to memify it, giving pictures of Joy looking happy and then Joy looking terrified.
Joy looking sad. Yeah.
Brian looking happy, Brian looking beleaguered and destroyed.
Well, yeah. Also, you have more shadows in that one.
I know. But it's
like if the point was less shadows.
Look, I'm with you. And what's funny is, but meanwhile, the whole time I'm thinking through, like, bureaucrat who wants to fuck with me. And I was like, there needs to be a factually, obviously worse photo of the two so that the bureaucrat can say, no, it's got to be this one. Just like one of the checklist items was have proof of your travel. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to rent a car and drive up. And I'm like, what's the bureaucrat going to say when they hear that?
You need a flight.
Exactly. So I book a
flight. I book a flight. And then cancel it. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right. And so,
by the way, the last time I got my passport renewed, I used an expediter, and the bureaucrat rejected my photo that I had taken at a FedEx Kinko's that is allegedly there so you don't have to worry about the guesswork. Like, they've got the appropriate background, they've got the appropriate level photo DPI and everything. They're putting it on the best stock that the passport people like.
Why did they
and the
reject
passport
it?
control office rejected it because it was the wrong background. It was too gray of a background.
That's amazing. Well, and that's exactly what I was afraid of. And so,
And you were right to be afraid, because I had to then go to a CVS and get the same photo taken again, but on a lighter background. So you chose correctly when it came to the background selection.
I even brought this random photo I took at a mall just in case.
Yeah. So you get the appointment in Washington, and
Yes.
you now get to the airport.
So, yes. And so I peace out of Thanksgiving with a little bit of chaotic energy, but I leave in time to get to the airport, get on the flight, at which point my heroes enter the stage. Bill and Brittany Duran have Thanksgiving traditions, and they have Thanksgiving with their friends. They know that Brian's having a moment, and because they're freaking heroes who live 4 miles from the airport.
From
They're
the airport,
right
from
there.
SeaTac, yeah.
Yeah. So I get in around just 11 p.m. They come in, scoop me up, and Bill, my hero, the next morning takes me out to the passport place where, by the way, 2 things. Number one, if you have to travel on Thanksgiving afternoon. Nothing but professionals. Everybody's bored. It was incredible. One of the items on the checklist was even though you'll have your driver's license, have a photocopy of it, and which is a weird thing to solve when your body is at Los Angeles Airport and you're going to land and go straight to Bill and Brittany Duran's place, and then hours later be at the office. Like, at what point do you get to photocopy your ID?
Photocopy anything, yeah.
Right. Shouts out to TSA, board TSA agent number 7 at LAX. I just asked, hey, here's a weird puzzle to crack. And they're like, oh my God, how would you? And I'm like, yes, how would I? How would you? And then suddenly it's like, do you trust me? I'll be right back. You got it, boss. And so, again, bored on a Thanksgiving, get the chance to be a real hero. Great. And so there was one moment when I went there, by the way, the elevators were busted at the passport place. So it was 6 floors up and down each
Walk
side.
up.
Yep.
Damn.
But there was nobody there, and there was one moment that you could really tell that the bureaucrat wanted to just kind of kick this one back because something picture not right. And then it was like, I've got scissors here, and then hands me scissors, and I do a little arts and crafts right there and get it exactly right. And then 5 hours later, I had a passport, and then I completely cratered. We watched Pluribus, and I just had the best time. Like, for a brief 36 hours, I had no gig outside of to sit on the couch and watch other people play video games. It was
That's it.
remarkable. Highly
Yeah.
recommended. 10 out of 10.
So that was all that goes down on Friday. And then you're in, it doesn't make any sense for you to go anywhere because you're right next to the gig. That happens. Was it Monday and Tuesday? Begin Monday,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
mostly Tuesday?
So Monday, of course, there's a bit of a get to know all the people who are going to the workshop, and that gives you a chance to kind of wrap your mind around, what is it that everybody attending is hoping to take away from it, And then Tuesday was just an emotional maelstrom because this is this is the 2-day course that you've dipped in on repeatedly. Only I'm just condensing it all to 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah. And now you were going to be on a flight back this afternoon. to
which brings me to the weirdest part about this moment right here was
Yeah.
so all things being equal, if schedules were different, I know that all of us are Jenga, Tetris blocking everything around, but like I had originally pictured going down to Seattle and then maybe just going back to Bill and Brittany's place and seeing if I could just podcast from there. But that would creep up on your schedule later on. So what worked out the best was in Bellingham, Washington, was the 4 Point Sheraton that I stayed at like 3 or 4 nights ago. And so I was like, it all comes down to guy behind the desk. If the same guy, chance of yes. And so sure enough, was the same guy. And I'm like, hey, listen, I got to do a podcast. Do you have an empty conference room that I could just yell at a laptop? And he goes, right now? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, you may use the terrace room. And now that's where we are.
That's what's happening. That's what's popping.
What's amazing is that what a time we live in, Justin. I didn't have to explain what a podcast was.
Right?
I didn't have to, well, yeah, of course, you got to spit that out. Your patrons are waiting.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, our
Hold on.
fantastic
Hold on. Before we get to
okay.
that,
Yeah.
this is my $1 million question.
Uh-oh.
Because this has been 5 days of adrenaline-soaked, gotta do it right now, nothing else in the world matters, gig, puzzle, solve, last minute, everything could be destroyed if I don't hit the right, up, down, left, right, BA, select, start kind of stuff that you have not had in a while. To which I need to ask you, where you at? 10? 1? Are you thrilled? Are you Lethal Weapon? Like, I'm getting too old for this shit. Where you at?
Justin, I think that I got on that flight from Austin, Texas, and I think the plane crashed halfway through, and I've been in heaven for 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must have been a good boy back down on earth because, yeah, man, like just the constantly shifting. There was that moment, and we've talked about this, where whatever the gig is, it exists in this platonic ideal, this ethereal anything, perfect spotlights and music and all that shit. And then there's that wonderful moment that you see the venue and it becomes a real place. It's like, nope, it's a community college. It's this hallway. Fluorescent lights can't be turned off. What are you going to do? I'm like, great. Now I know exactly what I'm dealing with. And hitting that a few times was, I think, really, really healthy.
There's just nothing that it's a very strange feeling when you have to train your body to smile when the fight or flight adrenaline hits. Like, and it's not for everybody. Some people just really, really, really don't like it. It is for a certain kind of personality that has more of a tolerance for in the moment decision making and is not quite the planner that other people are. But you thrive when it's like, oh, everything has just fallen apart. How can I rebuild this plane midair and have the confidence and the experience to a certain extent to know that you can do it? And that adrenaline, I remember when I first was doing the Go game, that there was moments where like thing was breaking. I'm getting a million different text messages from everybody who's supposed to be playing the game, or, the place where I'm supposed to set up everything for the big finale. The door's closed and nobody knows how to get it open. And it's just like that adrenaline hits and the hairs go up on the back of your, on the back of your neck. And I remember just thinking, this is what you enjoy now. You have to smile. Your response to that feeling is not to panic, is not to woe is me, is not to, oh no, I can't believe it, but to smile and to go forward. And you have faced not only many of those, but also the kind of solitude that only exists on the road, which is the other side of it, is that when it's not hurry up and panic, it's like, oh, I guess I'm just going to sit in this hotel room.
Well, and what's funny is, like, in those moments, what you want is somebody to, all things being equal, it would be great if somebody was sitting there shoulder to shoulder with you who understood. And yet, the depth of the insanity is so much that to even explain to someone what they would have to understand would take more time than you're like,
Yeah.
it's
Doesn't
a lot.
make any sense. Yeah. It's just, it's a very unique, it's a unique thing. I assumed that you were going to be a pig and shit, but I wanted to wait and see whether or not that was indeed the case.
Now, that's not to say that it's healthy or sustainable for me to be like this all the time, but let the record show that dipshit Brushwood did it again. somehow forgot to get a passport, had one legal day to make it happen, and just hop, skip, and a continent later sneaks across the border.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, nobody's saying you have to go back to high school, but if you're at your, reunion, maybe you do the Jaeger shots. Not to say it's for everybody. It's just for one night only. Patreon.com/Great Night is where you need to go if you would like to support this show. By the way, you want to know who was at my Thanksgiving table, or my mother's Thanksgiving table, but the one that I was at on Thursday? Somebody who knows many of your hijinks very well, OMG Chad Johnson, and the one and only Cheeto.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. They were in Florida?
They live in Orlando now, yeah.
I guess I heard that at some point. How was it? Tell me all about it.
Well, it was great. It was really, really great when my 9-year-old nephew heard me saying goodbye to Cheeto, saying Cheeto, not his government name, and he was very thrilled that somebody was named Cheeto, that adults were calling each other names like Cheeto. He was just thrilled that he had the kind of ear to ear grin that only kids can have. But it was great seeing it. And Cheeto is the only reason why these episodes get out, because we just send it to him and he makes sure that they get packaged and they get put into the feed. So thank you to everybody who helps make that happen. Patreon.com/Great Night. We do give you something for your troubles. We give you a bonus episode each and every week. And I guess you're going to be back in town, so we'll do it again. We'll do this all again tomorrow, huh?
Tomorrow, yeah. I get back right around midnight tonight. So roll in, get a couple hours of shut-eye. I'll see you in about 12 hours.
There we go. All new stories. There's going to be just a full story rebound in 12 hours.
Speaking of stories, we got that World's Greatest Con launched, and I don't think, we're going to say this every month that a new World's Greatest Con comes out, but I don't think I've ever seen a bigger hairpin turn on an episode where it was unclear where we were headed, and then just 36 hours later, one miracle edit later, we see the shape of things.
Yeah. See, this is one of those things where it's like, I feel like maybe the shoe is on the other foot, where I was like kind of like lionizing your, awesome rebounding of
now you don't want to.
Well, yeah, it's like the episode sucked ass until the last 24 hours, and then we pulled a good episode out of our assholes. But
no, it was great though. I mean, there was this. It was great because the moment that you feel in the episode of it, the thing or absence of a thing has been under our nose the entire time, like. That's in the episode, and we lived it. It really happened. It was great.
Yeah. I like the episode. I think it's good. It's about the Ponzi scheme, the original Ponzi scheme, which is not an original scheme. That would have been a good line for the show. Yeah, that's it's essentially our question is not what this scheme was and how it was done. It is remarkably stupid, and it is remarkably simple, but rather why do we still call it today the Ponzi scheme? What makes this so special? And that is the quest that we go on. And I think we land on a pretty good thing. I have not seen anyone else come to the conclusion that we came to, and I feel pretty sure of it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm certain that our position is correct, but also that's the benefit of being the only ones who ask a curious question is we're almost certainly the only ones investing the time, energy, and effort to find an answer. And I am certain our answer is correct, but I like that we ask the question, what's so great about the Ponzi scheme? Is it the Ponzi or the scheme? And the answer is neither. Neither of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we've gotten really good feedback on that. Thanks you to everybody who's listened. And my commitment to you, dear listeners of World's Greatest Con, you have given me a paternity year where I had a very young, very needy baby. And I have slowly started to rebuild the capacity to kind of understand where things are. And I feel like we are going to roll forward a little bit faster with World's Greatest Cons, going forward. So hopefully, we'll see. Yeah, I might make a liar out of myself, but I don't think so. I think we're gonna roll forward.
I think we're gonna roll forward. I think we got momentum on our side. I think
we're gonna
that
keep the Jeep riding.
KTJR.
Mm-hmm. Do you see anything else interesting out there in the Pacific Northwest? What are they doing out there in the old PNW? We're in Patagonia, and
You know what? You know what I noticed? There was some place. We went to that fish market, the same one where you proposed.
Pike Place Fish Market. Yes.
Yeah. You know what I didn't see nothing of? Ain't nobody recording nothing on no phones. It's as though, you mentioned a while ago that to the younger generation, there's nothing precious about media anymore. I think that's universal now. Nobody wanted to interrupt the right now present tense thing they were doing to get a video of it, even though all these truly remarkable visuals were happening at all times. It feels
that is a hallmark of our generation, is that we are perpetually fascinated technologically with the infinite recording and storage nature of media, because we came from a world where that was a bottleneck, that was precious. One of the things that you would run back into a home to save after your children was photo albums, because we were so precious about the idea that this media might go away. And so the internet comes along and it's like, what? I can save as many photos as I want in this magical realm. I can always go back and look at these photos. I'm going to take 1 million photos and I don't want to delete a single one. I just want this one gigantic morass of photos. And the younger generation is like, that's a lot of bad angles. That's a lot of ugly photos. I look bad. Why would I want any proof of that? They are in no way interested or fascinated by the idea that the internet can record a lot. They are interested in how fast it can get to somebody, that it gets to the right person, that their digital representation matters and is curated. That's what they care about. They don't care about I think it was a thing a while ago that the way that you knew an old person versus a young person on Instagram was that a old person would have more than 8 photos in their entire account. All the young people were constantly deleting and replacing their 8 photos. They wanted 8 photos that would represent them, and that was it. Where the rest of us are like, hey, here's first picture on Instagram. That's still there from because the idea of deleting it would be wrong. It'd be bad. What if I want to look at my first photo on Instagram again? Where would I go?
And on top of that, I know in my case, it's the very act of deleting a thing, it becomes a press release. You get Streisand affected, like, why did you delete that or whatever? Where I think that I think the younger generation is smarter than us, where it's just like, it's not personal, it's business. It's not that I deleted your photo, it's just that I only have 8 slots, and these are the 8 that are most relevant now.
Yeah. When that's the common going rate, is that you have 8 photos on Instagram, then it doesn't matter that you delete one. Like, yeah, that's the carousel. It goes round and round, as Don Draper
As a matter of
said.
fact, there was somebody was squawking. Apparently, YouTube made an adjustment to the algorithm back in September that it hit a lot of big channels hard, and the answer as to why or what happened seems to be that they tweaked the algorithm to benefit recency. So a lot of old time evergreens are fading away. So the hot tip from old YouTube Brushwood is, even if you have old evergreen stuff, figure out a new reason to revisit it.
Upload it.
Yeah. But certainly don't re-upload. That's a crime. But you know what? Let's say you have, hypothetically, a 15-year-old video in which, in the middle of teaching how to pick locks, you stop this YouTube video to explain that Netflix will send you movies in the mail.
Yeah.
Maybe you would want to trim that kind of thing out
Out of
and
it.
repackage it and upload a new version of it.
Interesting. Yeah, you never know, man. YouTube it is culture, though. Like, that's I was even talking to my mom. My mom gets a deal with Spectrum, so she has Spectrum cable still. That, by the way, is no longer a box. It literally runs through her television, so it just offs a digital app that runs the slowest thing that comes off her television. But it is what it is. It's fine. And then other than that, she is all, on demand, HBO, Apple, blah, 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 Netflix, and then YouTube. That's it. She has no relationship with any kind of like live television in general. Like, I was the only person who was putting on live television. It was just so I could put on football on Thanksgiving.
Even then,
that was it.
Wouldn't you do it through YouTube? Because they do all the sports, right?
No, I mean, she had Spectrum on her TV. So instead of downloading the YouTube TV app and logging into my account, I just used her Spectrum because that was easier.
Well, here, while we're chatting, I just noticed that I never plugged in this laptop, and I don't want it to die in the middle of our program. So
No, yeah, this is the Brian Plugs in His Laptop segment, brought to you by Doritos. Doritos, they eat your face. You might think that you eat a Dorito, but not when you chomp into the munchy, crunchy nature of a crispy corn tortilla chip irradiated with various flavors. Yes, Doritos, they're nuclear now. They can power a town. Are they harmful to you, you might ask? Pfft, don't ask these questions. Don't ask, don't tell. Doritos, they're probably going to kill you. Don't ask, don't tell. No one's using that one anymore.
There we go.
Oh, look at that passport.
I don't know why it tickles me so much that
I can't wait for the episode in 2035 when you fucking forget again.
Yeah. But look at that. That is a photo that was taken by my daughter in her room and cropped by my other daughter and is now on a government document. That's so silly. Although I don't know why we would fetishize the Polaroid machines at Kroger anymore. Like,
wait, what?
It's curious to me that my cell phone and my cell phone took that photo, and it was my daughter in her room, cropped by my other daughter. That seems weird. And then I ask myself, why would that be weird? Is it somehow special that you go to Walgreens and then have the Polaroid machine do it?
I don't know when the last time I got my photo taken.
Kroger. You can tell I'm not in Texas right now. I'm away from all the HEBs.
What is the chain out there? Is it Kroger out there in the PNW?
Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out. That's not
Yeah.
even real.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think it's right next
Some
to
of these are fake, man. You're gonna tell me there's a grocery chain called Hy-Vee?
Look at that. Yeah, Fred Meyer. That's me at the hotel, and I'm behind the Fred Meyer, our other home.
How far is Bellingham from Seattle?
100 miles.
Wow, that's
Like 2
more than I
hours?
thought.
Yeah.
I knew one of my good friends grew up in Bellingham. She didn't like it. She called it Hellingham.
Oh, well, that's. Did you ever read the book Hail Mary Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir?
That was the weird. No, I didn't. Did the movie come out, or was
I think it's Christmas Day.
Okay, yeah. I was
Yeah,
wondering whether or not I had heard whether or not it was good or not.
I hope the movie's good. The book is standing up to a second lap. You know, like much like The Martian, a lot of, oh dear, you're really screwed now. You're really up against it. You're
Yeah.
in trouble. Kind of fun to be reading one of those books while you're in the middle of trouble, not knowing how you're gonna fix things.
Life imitating art. as it-
Yeah, but I'm optimistic. I hope it's a good movie.
Gosling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How early do they reveal in the book that there's an alien? Because that was in the trailer.
Yeah. It's like a third of the way in.
Okay, so the majority of the book is with the alien.
Yeah, it is a neat surprise when the alien shows up because that's not on the menu. The original conceit of the book, well, I mean, first page is he has amnesia, doesn't know where he's from. He has to intuit things like, I guess I don't like curse words, because he finds himself saying, gosh darn it, and that kind of stuff. And he notices that he expresses up close lengths in imperial units, but when he's thinking about science things, they become millimeters. And he's like, am I Canadian maybe, or possibly Australian or whatever? So obviously, when you start with that much of a black box mystery,
Yeah.
to get to aliens is like, whoa, we're really going places. So they did tip that in the trailer.
They did. I think it was good, though, because it separated it from The Martian, where it's like, oh, it's just another man goes to space picture.
There is
You're
a
gonna
man.
do,
He
hey,
does go to
Andy,
space.
is that all you're doing? Is these man goes to space pictures? Like, how long are we going to do these man goes to space pictures? And then he's like, there's an alien. Oh, all right. Well, why did you say that? He's like, well, we did. It's in the trailer. It's like, okay.
I found myself wishing for, because like both Project Hail Mary and The Martian are very much Andy Weir imagines how he would solve things, right? Impossible challenges, think it through. I was thinking to myself, what would be a non-space one that I would like to see? And here's what I would love. I want Andy Weir to suddenly wake up as Andy Weir, but he's in second grade and it's 1997. And like, what do you do with that? Maybe he's in second grade.
Adult mind, second grade body.
Yeah, and maybe he wants to stop 9/11 or something. Like, what do you do? Like, what things can you remember so that you can place bets? But you're a kid, so it's like, how do you even get your hands on that capital? Do you let an adult in? Is that going to screw it up? Now I'm describing a Brian Brushwood book. Maybe it's a book I thought about a lot.
I was gonna say, well, we know how the Brian Brushwood one ends, where he's on the vaudeville circuit on the carnival circuit, being like the incredible little kid that knows adult things.
I make sure to go on tour with all of my mentalism punchlines are 9/11, and they're like weird punchline for everything. And then what else?
Yeah.
Like, you just wait. I'm gonna be the world's most amazing mentalist.
But then all of a sudden, you look into the back of the audience. Who's there sneaking out early? Osama bin Laden. And he's like, well, I can't do it then. Like this kid tipped me. This kid is he's tipping it off. Or maybe he's like, oh my God, this child performer was so amazing. My tribute to him will be to do this on 9/11.
We see that's just it. This is the Twilight Zone episode, is we'll never know whether it's a chicken and egg thing. It's like there was a Twilight Zone or some spinoff of it where a modern day Elvis impersonator who knows all the Elvis trivia backwards and forward. He's like talking to some girl he's trying to date about how crazy Elvis got by the end. But anyway, don't worry about that. Magic happens. Suddenly he meets Elvis because he time traveled to the 50s, only he, pours canola oil on the ground and Elvis slips, bonks his head and dies. And so he realizes to keep the timeline going, he has to do all the Elvis things he knows how to do until finally he's old and fat and crazy and on drugs. And he tells the true story about how he's not really Elvis and that all of this has been just to keep the timeline in effect.
What is this?
It's a Twilight Zone episode.
A Twilight Zone episode. Okay, got you.
That I would be reenacting with my 9/11 Osama thing.
Osama. You have to be Osama.
Oh, well, I don't like that very much. I would deviate from the canonical timeline.
Nah, sorry. In fact, you have to start doing it now. You have to get into the part.
So I'll start by going to that porno shop and getting all those DVDs.
All those DVDs, yeah. That's what people are asking about the Osama bin Laden thing, is how did he get the DVDs? In this 7-part Paramount Plus miniseries, we find out the answer to that question that America has been asking. How did Osama get the porno DVDs?
Are you going to watch the Ken Burns America Revolution story?
People are into it. Or no, actually, I think people have criticized it.
Really?
Ken Burns, man. I have not watched a lot of Ken Burns stuff. I know that Ken Burns is great. It's right up my alley. I'm sure I would love it. I guess I just don't watch a lot of things.
Well,
I don't watch as many things as I want to. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's not as bad as the last few seasons. The problem is, they've got 50 characters that they've introduced over the 8 seasons that they've done the show. So it's like they got to really constantly be ping-ponging between like, oh, here's this guy and this guy. Also, all of them are 40. Like, so they're all 40 years old, and they're like, anyway, it's tough being in high school. Am I right? Like, we're so shrimpy. It's like, you guys are all 7 feet tall and 40 years old.
Wait, so they're setting them still in high school?
I think they are in late high school now, so they aged them up a few years just to make it not completely ridiculous, but they'll flash back sometimes to earlier seasons and you were like, Jesus Christ, like all of you have mortgages like now, and you were in diapers when the show began.
Do they write it in a way where they acknowledge the fact that almost everybody watching season 5 fell off at some point in the past?
I think that they did a big last show on like get you up to speed kind of thing. But I hit the wrong button and I skipped it. And so I was really looking forward to that. And then I skipped it. And so we were in the middle of it. And then everybody's like, oh no, Ryan's back. And I'm like,
oh,
was he the one that used to do the thing? Is he the one that used to do the thing with his hands? Is that the one?
Where's Barb? That's what we're asking,
Justice for Barb. Wow, we're way past that.
Yeah, we're back to August 2015 now.
I know. Justice for Barb. Yeah. It's a pretty, I don't know. This season's been good. It's nice. I think it hurts that they've run out of 80s tropes, because there were times where it's like, oh, they're doing Temple of Doom, like, oh, they're doing Die Hard, oh, they're doing something else that happened in the 80s. Yeah, here's War Games. There's a lot of War Games in this season, at least so far. But it's okay. It's good. It's charming. They're keeping it moving. Like, things are happening, which is nice. It's also funny. So one of the characters was revealed as gay. There's two gay characters, a gay and a lesbian. And the lesbian, they've made her progressively more engineering focused, which I don't know if it's like funny or stereotypical, that it's like the gayer she's gotten, the better she's gotten at electrical engineering.
We need your lesbian math skills.
Yes, it's like before, when she was like, oh, is she gay or not? Because it was like a surprise that she was gay. And it's like,
Right.
before she's like, I don't know, I'm just a girl. I'm kind of quirky and I do quirky things. And now it's like, what do you need? Replace the transformer? All right.
That's amazing. So you still ain't watched Pluribus, have you? I've watched all of them 3 times now. It's truly a great show.
I'll get to it. The only things that I watch are with the wife at the end of the day, and it was the Stranger Things was the only thing. But we'll get to Pluribus. So give me the non-spoiler thumbnail on the Plurb.
Well, the first episode is free, and in the trailers for the first episode, I think the tagline is happiness is a disease, and she's the one miserable person that can save the world. But basically,
all I know about it is that it's Breaking Bad guy, right?
Yep,
Vince Gilligan. It's
Yep.
Vince Gilligan, and there was a woman screaming on the poster. That's all I know.
The woman screaming on the poster is Rhea Seehorn, who plays Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul.
She was in Better Call Saul, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked her. She's good.
To hear Vince Gilligan tell it, he originally wrote this and was thinking of a male lead, but he liked working with Rhea Seehorn so much that he's like, screw it. She's a lesbian author and married and great. But basically, it starts off looking like Contact, then it looks like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then strangely, everyone's very chill, and they're like, we just want to make you happy, and eventually we're going to figure out how you could join us. Have a great day. Can we get you anything? Can we help? And
gotcha. So a little bit of dystopia, but not like zombies are chasing after you dystopia.
Right, and it's a bit of a
and
chess game.
not techno capitalism has arrested the world dystopia.
Right. And so when all of planet Earth is infected and they just want to make you happy, sometimes they'll end their sentence asking if that you'd like that all in a PDF, or could they possibly do this, that, or the other. So there's opportunities where it smells a little ChatGPT-ish riff, or other times where, like, is this a communist versus libertarian discussion?
Gotcha.
What does it mean to be on your own if you want to go to the store and there is no store because the rest of humanity doesn't see the point of having a store? Oh, shoot, you need a store, don't you? And it's really interesting.
I'm sure I'll get to it. All right, Brian, one golden lesson you have learned over the past week.
Hey, guys, do me a favor. I'm Brian Brushwood, and for a brief moment, I had no passport. And I should have gotten checked. Get yourself checked. If you or your loved one knows where your passport is, have it inspected immediately. And if you need a passport, get one. I'm passport positive, and you should be too.
There was a moment on one of the We're Not Wrongs recently where, we're talking about what we did last week, and Heaton and I are like, anyway, well, here are the cool drinking things we did in London, and we were drinking on the Tower Bridge and amongst priceless David Bowie artifacts and blah, blah, blah. And Jen's like, I was in Paris, and I walked through the Christmas market, and then right by the Louvre, there was a opera singer who was singing just for the public, and it was such a magical evening. And I was like, yes, it's us. The working man's champion, the blue collar voice that we need here in America. For in our populist moment, where do you turn to? The hard scrabble men and women of the podcasting industry. It's all the things that you know, right, fellow blue collar people?
Yeah.
Like when to renew your passport and where the best Christmas markets are in Paris.
Now let's all head on over to our favorite premium streaming service of choice, Apple TV, and watch the new Vince Gilligan hit Pluribus.
There we go. All right.
think we did
Brian, yeah, bye.
Wait, bye.